Welcome to a Bestow TV production. If you enjoy our content, please click the subscribe button. To get notifications of new releases, ring that bell. Thank you, and away we go.
You guys trying to recruit people for the Wayne's World show or something, dudes?
Oh, really? It's all about getting the public access show, Cable 10.
Here at C2E2, we're going to be bringing you live coverage from artists, writers, and cosplayers. Hopefully some stars along the way. We hope you stay tuned to the rest of our coverage here at C2E2 2013. We're here talking with current artist at DC Comics, Amanda Connor. Amanda, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
How'd you get started in comics exactly?
Well, it helps to have a mom and dad that draw a lot. And my dad is actually a frustrated comic book artist. He wanted to do comics when he was a kid. So when I decided to do comics, he was very encouraging for me.
Did he guide you to the Kubert School?
I can't remember how I found out about it, but I remember going up there with my parents in high school to check it out, and that's where I went.
What was your first publisher you worked at?
First publisher I worked at was Marvel. I actually went back to Marvel and DC like 4 or 5 times before I got my first 11-page story with Marvel, which was a Yellow Jacket story in Solo Avengers.
What made you make the transition between from Marvel to DC?
It's actually a long time in coming because I did Marvel for a while, and then I did Archie for a while, and then I went back and did more like Marvel, and then a lot of independent books, and some stuff for Harris, some stuff for Billy Tucci's company, Crusade, and then one day they were just like, hey, we want you to do some DC stuff, and I said, okay.
What's your favorite project you've worked on throughout your career?
Ooh, that's really tough. I have several of them. Well, one of them was Gatecrasher, which I did for Black Bull. Another one is Power Girl, of course. She's one of the ones that I love. The Pro is my baby. That was a really fun book to do. And I love doing Painkiller Jane, actually, which is, she's Jimmy's character. She's a really fun character to work on.
What made you and Jimmy get together to work on Power Girl initially?
We actually started working together, this was before we were even dating. Our editor put us both on the Gargoyles book when Marvel Comics was putting out Gargoyles. He was inking my covers. And I'm like, I like the way you ink my stuff. Let's do this all the time. So that's how we got together, and eventually it snowballed into a romance.
What do you think about your style? I mean, you draw some of the sexiest women, most people say, and you're very humble about it.
I'm glad that they think she's sexy, because I was trying to make her sexy. And if they didn't think she was sexy, I'd be really sad, because I'd be like, I really tried, but no, I like it. It's fun. I think part of the thing that makes Power Girl and a lot of the female characters that I do so sexy is that I try and put a lot of personality into them also. So it's not just the physical goods, it's like maybe a girl that you had a crush on back in high school.
You just completed work on Silk Spectre. How'd you go about getting work on that with Darwin?
I think Darwin suggested that I work with him on this project, because what he had basically said was, I've never been a 16-year-old girl before in my life, so I need you to come in and, give me that angle on it. So we went in and we just started collaborating, and it worked really well together.
How much of her story during that period is maybe based on some of your experiences?
Well, the boy in the story, Greg, is actually based on a boy I had a crush on in junior high school. And a lot of it's not so much my personal experiences, but I do have a couple of aunts who are right about that age. They would have been 16 or 17, right at around that time, 1966. And I would call them up and just ask them all sorts of questions about what it was like and what they were doing. So it helped to have aunts that could answer all these weird, strange questions.
So how much of the book did you, I know you because you're a co-writer on it as well as the artist, how much of the book did you do versus Darwin doing it?
I would say it was about half and half. Maybe, we would each grab a scene. We weren't sure how we were going to go about it when we first started it. And there was one scene that he was just dying to work on, and he would just run with that scene, and then there would be another scene, and I'm just like, I know what to do with this, and then I would write it all out, and that's kind of how it worked. We would just like do scenes, and he also had the voice for the chairman. And oddly, I had in my head the voice for Guru Steen. So he wrote most of the chairman stuff, I wrote most of the Guru Steen stuff, and we both kind of collaborated on Laurie.
What was it about Laurie that attracted you to writing her?
Well, I actually read The Watchmen when it first came out back in 85 or 86, and I loved it then, and I had read it several times since then, and when they said, "You want to do this?" I said, "Yeah, I want to do that."
How many times back and forth did you go through reading the story over and over for research?
Oh, I just kept it right next to my desk, and every time I had something that I thought, I wonder if this would work, for me to put in the story. I don't know if it would, fight with the original. I didn't want anything to fight with the original stuff. So I would go back and forth and read it all the time. I know all the chapters back, front, and sideways now.
What other projects are you doing right now?
Well, that's kind of exciting. Frank Thierry and Jimmy Palmiotti are writing a book called Captain Brooklyn, which I'm going to be drawing, and I'm on that right now, and I'm really excited and having fun with it. And I'm trying to unleash my inner Chuck Jones because he's one of my heroes. I love him so much.
Do you have any future DC work coming up?
I'm doing covers here and there, and after Captain Brooklyn, it'll be Painkiller Jane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that I'm really excited about. So.
Thanks for talking with us. This is Tommy Zimmer, SC2E2 2013 in Chicago.
We keep saying to each other, are we going to destroy the magic if we marry this? Get married and ruin this thing? But we're going to get married soon. We're going to do it.
Thanks a lot, I appreciate it.
Watch Creative Continuity, Codtoons, Con Rewind, Mr. Lobo Does, and more on this channel.
Creative Continuity. We bring the convention to you.